right, so buckle up, everybody. It's time for our weekly cosmic deep dive.
Deep dive.
So, yeah, for the week ahead.
This week.
It is February 17th through the 23rd.
2025.
2025. And to help us navigate the celestial waters, we've got Tarot by Pisces as our trusted guide.
Yeah,
right? And think of this deep dive.
The deep dive.
As your own personalized astro weather report.
Astro weather report.
Specifically for you, tailored just for you.
Just for you.
So for listeners who are new to Hyde, can you tell us a little bit about who she is and kind of like what her work is like?
Yeah, so hi, C. C is an astrologer who I've been following for a while now. She posts weekly forecasts online, and she has a real knack for blending kind of those nitty-gritty daily details with these like bigger picture trends that are happening astrologically.
Really? Okay, wow. And so this week in particular, what are we seeing in terms of the daily specifics versus the broader trends?
Well, this week is particularly interesting because it's almost like the daily energies are perfectly mirroring the overall themes of the week,
Ooh.
which we'll unpack, of course, but it's quite fascinating to see how those are aligned.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, then let's just dive right in.
Let's dive in.
So let's start with Sunday, February 17th.
Okay.
Hi. Points out a shift happening that afternoon and evening.
Afternoon and evening, yeah.
We go from a Libra Moon to Scorpio.
Right.
So for our listeners, what might we notice as that transition unfolds?
Okay, so picture this, right? You wake up Sunday morning and the moon is still in Libra, so everything just feels kind of smooth and easy.
Easygoing Libra?
Exactly. Like Libra's all about balance
and
harmony and getting along, like collaborating.
Yeah.
It's a great time for like hanging out with friends or, working on creative projects with other people.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And actually even mentioned that the Libra moon is trine the sun in the afternoon.
Ooh.
Which is just going to amplify those easygoing vibes even more.
So what does trine mean in astrological terms? I always forget that one.
Right. So think of it like this, right? When planets are trine, it's like they're holding hands in the sky. They're like best buddies.
It's buddies.
They're positioned in a way that really supports and enhances each other's energy.
Okay.
And in this case, we've got the Libra moon, all about harmony and balance, getting this like extra boost from the sun, which is, all about our vitality and self-expression.
Our vitality.
So it's like, yeah, you might find yourself feeling super aligned with your goals.
Okay.
It's a good time for personal projects or even just having like heartfelt conversations with people because communication is going to be flowing really easily.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So I'm marking the afternoon for some productive, like feel-good time.
Yeah, definitely.
But then as the moon shifts into Scorpio later on, I see mentions of Scorpio Moon square Pluto.
Right.
And that doesn't sound as relaxed.
Yeah, it can be a little bit more intense. Square aspects, those are a bit more challenging. But that indicate like some kind of friction or tension that we need to kind of work through.
Oh, work through.
Yeah, so with this Scorpio moon squaring Pluto, it's possible that like some deeper emotional currents might surface, This could manifest as, maybe power struggles in relationships or like jealousy or even just feeling like a little bit more sensitive and kind of raw than usual.
Raw. Okay, so maybe not the best time for like those really crucial conversations or
probably not.
like signing a big contract or something like that.
Yeah, it might be better to wait for a different time for that.
Yeah, take a breather.
Yeah, but it's important to remember that Scorpio energy is also incredibly transformative. So if you can, kind of lean into those deeper emotions and try to use them constructively, you might actually uncover some really valuable insights about yourself or a situation you're in.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So potential challenges to navigate.
Yes.
But ultimately a chance for growth. Right?
For growth.
I love that. Okay, so now let's zoom out a little bit to the entire week.
Yeah, okay.
Hi, see, gives us these keywords. Forward, movement, enchanting.
I love those words.
I know, right?
They're so evocative.
Yeah. So what strikes you about those words in relation to the week's energy overall?
Well, I think what's really fascinating is how well those keywords actually align with the bigger astrological picture this week.
Oh.
We're moving into Pisces season, which is known for its very dreamy, imaginative energy.
Yes.
It's a time for like really tapping into our intuition, getting creative.
Creative.
Maybe connecting with our spiritual side a little bit more.
Okay.
Um, and so this ties in beautifully, I think, with this idea of enchanting movement. It's not about forcing things or, trying to like push and shove our way forward.
Right.
It's more about like trusting our inner guidance
Thrusting.
and allowing things to unfold in a more like organic, intuitive way.
Ooh, I love that. Pisces season always feels like a little bit magical. But
Yes.
Pisces also talks about this idea of overcoming self-doubt and releasing negative patterns.
Right.
That sounds a little bit less enchanting and maybe a little bit more daunting.
Yeah, that's true. It can be challenging to face those things.
Yes.
But, you know, I think it's helpful to think of it as like we're clearing the path, right?
Clearing the path.
We're clearing the path for those new beginnings, for that enchanting movement to really take hold.
Okay.
So, it might feel a little bit messy at first, but ultimately it's about creating space for something new and beautiful to come in.
I love that. And speaking of movement, we've also got Mars in Cancer turning direct this week
Yes.
after months of being retrograde.
Oh my goodness.
Mars retrograde can be a bit of a slog.
Oh, tell me about it. It can really feel like we're stuck in the mud
And
sometimes.
stuck. Yeah. So what kind of shift might we experience as Mars turns direct?
Well, Mars is all about action,
Yeah, you
right?
say.
It's that fiery energy that motivates us to go after what we want.
Yes.
So when it's retrograde, it's like hitting the brakes.
Hitting the brakes.
Yeah, we're forced to slow down, to review, to reassess, to re-strategize.
Okay.
And in Cancer, which is a very like nurturing and emotionally focused clan,
Yes.
this retrograde has likely been bringing up a lot of stuff around our home life,
Oh, home life.
our family relationships, maybe our sense of security and emotional foundations.
Okay.
So as Mars turns direct, we might find it much easier to kind of assert ourselves in these areas.
Assert ourselves.
Yeah, like to set boundaries, to take action on those home-related projects that we've been putting off.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
So we're channeling that like fiery Martian energy in a
Yeah.
more nurturing and intuitive way, right?
Exactly.
That's beautiful.
Which, again, brings us back to that overall theme of moving forward in a way that feels intentional and authentic.
I love that.
Yeah.
So it seems like there's a real emphasis this week on letting go of what's no longer serving us.
Absolutely.
Whether that's, outdated beliefs or self-sabotaging behaviors or, even like physical clutter in our homes.
Yes, it's all connected.
Right.
I think this week is really about clearing out the old
Clearing out the
and make way for the new.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, and it all points to this idea of creating space for a new, more empowered version of ourselves to emerge.
So to recap, we have a week of powerful forward energy,
Powerful forward energy.
navigating some intensity,
Some intensity
but with intuition as our guide.
with intuition and
That the potential for profound personal transformation.
profound personal transformation.
It's a lot packed into 7 days.
It is. It's going to be a big week, but I think, it's a week filled with so much potential.
So much potential.
And see, I think really wants us to take that potential seriously.
Yeah.
She encourages us to really envision that new version of ourselves.
Yeah, like who do you want to be
Exactly.
moving forward
As
as we step into this new week?
And so my question for you and for all our listeners is, what's one small step, just one small step,
One small step.
that you could take this week, make that dream a reality?
Ooh.
It could be anything, right? It could be, finally signing up for that class you've been wanting to take.
Yes.
Or having that difficult conversation that you've been putting off. Or even just like cleaning out your closet.
Yeah.
Anything that feels aligned with that new vision of yourself, just take one small step towards it.
One small step. I love that.
Yeah,
I think that's a beautiful place to end it.
I think so too.
Lots to think about as we head into this very exciting week ahead.
Exciting week ahead.
Thank you so much for guiding us through this deep dive.
Of course, it was my pleasure.
And we'll see you all next time.
See you next time. AT.